technician.
Grand. Now, will you please leave?
Look, I only go where the mess is.
There is no mess in here. Out! Out!
All right. Suit yourself, lady.
Where did you get a pass key?
Security. Where else?
Idiots. No one is allowed in here without my approval. Not you, not anyone without my approval.
Well, who's gonna clean up?
E.T. Now out! Out!
Easy, Liz. Max is doing his job.
Well, have him go do it somewhere else.
E.T.
Sorry about this, man. Listen, don't worry. I'll get it all straightened out.
As long as you're in here, you might find a cure for,
What are you doing out of bed? Come on, I'm taking you back to
Watch
your room.
it, Junior.
Liz, why are you fighting us like this?
Why are you fighting me? Can't you see I'm perfectly all right?
Look, you're a physician. Now, if you had a patient who suddenly had seizures like that, passed out, ran a high fever, wouldn't you be a little concerned?
Yes, I would. And I appreciate your concern. But if you will look closely, you will see my fever is down. My energy is disgusting. The electrics are up. And I'm displaying no symptoms whatsoever.
Great, I'm glad to hear it. But until we find out why those symptoms occurred, you're coming back to bed. Now, are you going to come with me quietly or have to throw a net over you?
You are a persistent little devil, aren't you?
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's go.
Stop worrying about the lab. If anything needs to be done around here, I'll be happy to do it.
It'll keep. Now, walk me back.
Sure.
Tell me a story.
What kind of story?
I don't care. As long as it's scandalous, exciting, and slightly lascivious.
Pick a day of my life.
Oh, John, you gotta see this. Look.
Do I have a choice?
No, like the Memorial Messenger, front page, first edition.
Obviously a collector's item.
Isn't it terrific?
Sure is, and if Pulitzer doesn't give you a prize, I will.
Pulitzer, oh, come on. Well, maybe they have a special category, hospital journalism. Wouldn't hurt to find out.
Crap. Glad I caught you.
I'm running late.
Running with Gretchen?
Sampling her endurance, so if you don't mind.
Well, wait a second. I just got back the lab tests on Liz Waleska.
And?
She has a viral infection.
Well, that figures. What kind of a virus is it?
They can't identify it.
What are you talking about?
They don't know what it is. They've never seen anything like it before. They think it may be a virus that never existed until now.
Oh, hello. Is this a social visit?
Where do you think you're going?
Back to work. My temperature is down, and I feel strong enough to run all the way to Stockholm to collect the Nobel Prize.
Mm-hmm. Well, before you leave, I think you should take a look at these. This is your lab report.
Unidentifiable virus? Your lab technicians must lead extremely sheltered lives.
How would you explain it?
Oh, are you sure you've got the right reports? Maybe those tissue cultures aren't valid.
No, they're valid. I think it's a synthetic virus.
Synthetic? Come on, Trapper. When are you going to outgrow this childish flair for melodrama?
Liz, you have been doing viral experiments. An unidentified virus appears in your bloodstream. We don't know how volatile it may be.
Well, it couldn't be much, or I wouldn't be feeling so terrific.
If it hit you, it can hit somebody else. Next time around, it may not be so benign. Liz, where did it come from?
You haven't changed one bit.
Neither of you. Yeah, I think you're still dabbling around with science experiments. If you have any sense of responsibility.
I'm
Liz.
sorry, Doctor. I can't tell you what I don't know. My work is confined to the cold virus. Now, your friend Gates will confirm that.
Oh, I'm sure he would, but you see, we're still playing Name That Virus. The Medicomp computer at Hopkins drew a blank.
Well, I don't have time to stand around and bicker about it. If you need me, I'll be in my lab.
No way.
Excuse me?
I'm closing down the lab.
Now, hold it, St. Francis.
Liz, it could be the source of the virus. I don't want you infected or anybody else.
You cannot close down my lab.
Watch me.
Stanley, you've really outdone yourself.
I know.
Just what this hospital needs. I mean, it's got spirit, and it's informative, and it'll be a real breakthrough in communications around here.
We were headed for disaster, Arnold.
Not to mention the in-house PR it'll give the lab.
Or its editor.
Yes. You know, Dr. Valeska is just going to love that. When's the first issue come out?
Well, the presses are about to roll even as we speak.
Oh, that's fabulous.
Arnie, we got a problem. You're gonna have to shut down the new research lab.
Dr. Waleska's lab?
What are you saying?
Dr. Waleska has infected herself with an unidentified virus. It might even be synthetic.
Oh, good Lord, is she all right?
For the moment, yes.
Oh, yes, but I don't see why we have to close down the research center.
Now, what, you want an epidemic on your hands?
Epidemic?
I think it's safe to assume that the lab's where the virus originated.
Well, then Dr. Waleska could help us. She should certainly know how to cure it.
I don't think Dr. Waleska is telling us everything she knows. She could be covering up some other experiments.
Covering up? Oh, come on. I mean, the only reason she'd do that is that... Good Lord. You don't think she's doing something illegal?
Possibly.
Wow, that's a story.
Oh, John, that's a slanderous accusation.
That's right, John. That's slander. You're not going to trap me into a story like that.
It's just a theory.
Well, what do you base it on? I mean, do you have any evidence?
Facts, John. We need hard, cold facts.
No, I don't have any evidence. All I have is a hunch.
John, I cannot close down the center on a whim. I mean, we're talking millions of dollars here. I mean, funds are tied into this. Whitewood Industries has a great stake in this, and they have a lot of influence.
Whitewood Industries. Well, now, that's very interesting, Arnold. You've never mentioned that before. So what? We've got a pharmaceutical house making decisions for us?
Solid company, up 10 points last quarter.
Well, naturally, there's a corporate tie-in. Dr. Waleska is working on a cure for the common cold.
I think Dr. Waleska is working on more than that. But until we get some answers, I want the lab shut down.
I'm sorry. If I can't present a solid, definitive case to the board, there's no point in pursuing it.
John, wait. John, listen. If you want to launch a secret investigation, you got my support all the way. Just, let me have an exclusive, okay?
The newsletter is finished. Why are you still writing?
Finished? You don't think we're going to stop at just one issue, do you?
Person can hope.
Ernie, we've barely scratched the surface. Think of all the possibilities. We could do political satire, exposés. I'll bet everyone in this hospital has a fascinating story.
Everyone?
Well, sure. I mean, if you look close enough. Well, take someone like Henderson in data processing.
Henderson?
Well, I know he seems a little dull on the outside, but, well, that's where the challenge comes in, you know? He's a nice enough guy, and you know, he collects soaps.
Henderson?
Yeah, Henderson. I bet there's a real human interest story in there. If you dig deep enough. Somewhere.
No.
Just ran into Arnold. Boy, did he put me under the lamp.
Did he find what he was looking for?
Beats me. Keeps firing these questions at me about Liz. What's she doing? How's she doing? What are you working on? Why is she so secretive about her work? Suddenly it's Frankenstein and Igor down in the lab.
Oh, yeah.
You spooked him pretty good, telling him you thought he ought to shut down the lab.
Preventative medicine.
Well, he seems to think you're waging a personal vendetta against her.
Gotta run.
Well,
Well, what?
are you?
I'm due an OR.
Trap, wait a minute. Answer the question. What's going on between you and Liz?
Well, let's just keep it between me and her, okay?
No, wait. I'm working with that lady, and I think she's pretty terrific. Now, if you have a problem with her, I'd like to know what it is.
Forget it.
Trap, I'm involved in this. I have a right to know.
Actually, you don't, but I'll tell you anyway. Sit down.
Is it that bad?
Sit down. She has been bending the rules ever since she began experimenting with viruses. About 7 years ago, it caught up with her. She was accused of using money for a molecular research grant to start some outside experimentation in genetic engineering.